I'm going to give you the best long-range loadouts, including some very pay-to-win loadouts, some class setups that, for the meta weapon, makes it significantly better, in my opinion, and also a secret jack conversion kit that I don't hear anyone talking about that is absolutely absurd. You guys know, let's go ahead and start with the actual stats to back this up. So, if you haven't seen already, the new D tier is S tier, okay? It's a new battle rifle that came into the game, and it is absolutely incredible. You guys know we use true game data, we throw on the combination TTK, we throw on 300 HP, and real quick, we're just going to run through the meta so you guys know kind of where the meta lies. So right now we have the D tier, and as you can see, it has an insanely fast time to kill up close, and even faster time to kill at range. I mean, like 300, or I guess a little over 200 milliseconds faster in its time to kill at long ranges when compared to the STG. Now, I will say I still heavily suggest using the PKM for a lot of players because not only does it have absurd damage per mag, but it keeps that damage at longer ranges. Now, there's some other guns to consider as well, but I also want to stray away from a lot of guns that I see people gassing up, and just in general, I'm trying to save your time, okay? If it's not worth using, I'm not going to gas it up, okay? The Attack Eradicator is one to consider. As you can see, it matches up very closely with the D tier. It has incredible bullet velocity, especially with the build that I'm giving, and if for some reason the D tier ever gets nerfed, I still think the D tier is the best in the game right now. Take a look at the Attack Eradicator because it's got great time to kill, great bullet velocity, and the damage range does not drop off as harshly as some other guns. Okay, I'll kind of clear it up real quick. We'll set it in stage of the STG and the D tier. So the new cast-off LSW is the new LMG, but it shakes way too much in my opinion to be even worth recommending. I'll show you what it looks like. We then have the BP50, but it doesn't shoot as straight as the D tier, and it doesn't have as much damage or damage per mag. Okay, so I don't recommend it. Olger 556, very sharp vertical climb that I think most people wouldn't prefer, and it doesn't kill as fast as the D tier. MTZ 556, exact same thing. It's got a little bit of horizontal shake, which is taken away by the Quartermaster suppressor, but in general, it doesn't kill as fast. And I'm going to show you what the D tier looks like with my build. It is literally zero recoil. Like, it's going to be very tough to justify using anything but this. But I do want to give some options that are kind of like the next up options. And for me, I just can't suggest the MCW, the MTZ, the Holger, or the BP50 as the next ups. The STG, as we know, literally doesn't move, but I might lean, in the event that the D tier gets nerfed, towards something like the PKM or the Attack Eradicator and maybe the STG. But in my opinion, these other ARs just aren't good enough to hang with these super hard hitters at the 50+ meter range. Without further ado, let's get into the builds of the day. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million users. And all season long, I was making Call of Duty League lineups, Valorant, CSGO, League of Legends, and more. And of course, they also have traditional sports as well. Tonight, we're taking a look at Monday Night Football, and I have Joe Burrow and Josh Allen expecting to do well against some weak pass defenses. I've got them on more for touchdowns, and then Trevor Lawrence and Jaden Daniels going up against some good pass defense, and I have them on less for yards. If you guys are interested in checking out PrizePicks, you can click the link down in the pinned comment and the description for more information. Huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so the very first weapon we have is the D tier, and it's very important that you guys make sure you use, if you bought it, the Battle Pass. Okay, there's a Battle Pass variant that makes this gun significantly more usable, all right? Here we will see the D tier without the Battle Pass blueprint. And you will see when I try to shoot someone, there is a ridiculous amount of smoke in my face. Now, obviously, we're here under these lights, and it makes it really, really bad. But even inside of the game, inside of buildings, it's really obnoxious. What you can do, unfortunately, it's pay to win, but I'm just telling you guys, a lot of people buy the Battle Pass anyways. You're going to go in, pick up the D tier, and you're going to equip the Dead Haunting Black Cell Blueprint. Okay, with the Black Cell blueprint, with the exact same build that we were just using, you will see in the same spot, all of that muzzle smoke goes away. You do have a little muzzle flash, but in my opinion, I'm not telling you to buy stuff. I'm just letting you know to be aware of it. It's really good. It's absolutely pay to win, and this is the build. Okay, so we have the Quartermaster suppressor, we have the extended long barrel, which helps out with our bullet velocity. We have the Jack Glassless, the Rifleman stock, and then the 40-round magazine. All these together make this an absolutely zero recoil weapon that legitimately, like, I won't touch my finger here. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do a little recoil plat against the wall. Like, it doesn't get much easier to control recoil than that. Okay. Yes, it may climb a lot, but the rate that it climbs does not change. The visual recoil is very little, and it shoots missiles at long range. Actually, not literally missiles. We're going to talk about something that shoots missiles later. So this is the build that I would suggest for most people to rock inside of the game. It is quartermaster, long barrel, jack glassless, rifleman stock, and 40-round magazine. Make sure you take your screenshot. Now, I do have a suggestion to make this even better, okay? I haven't heard people talking about this, but because this gun has such little recoil and it has such clean iron sights, what I've done is I've used these iron sights and then I've thrown on high velocity, which gives me 1,300 meter per second bullet velocity. You could throw on something like high grind too, which would also help bring up that that damage range as well. Totally up to you where you stand as a player on your recoil control. But as you can see here, even with high grain, it shoots very straight. And if you're, I mean, there's really not a lot of recoil, let's be honest. If you want to, you can rock the high velocity. And I'm telling you, it makes the hit registration a world of difference. Having that additional, 300 meters per second bullet velocity makes a huge difference. This is my sweaty loadout. If you like iron sights, it might be a controller only gun, but I'm telling you, try it. Throw on some bright iron sights and this thing rips more than the build that I showed you beforehand. If you haven't already, make sure you take a screenshot. If you guys are taking screenshots and you appreciate these builds early on in the season, do me a favor, drop a like on this video and subscribe for even more. We're going to be covering the close range meta tomorrow. We got some sleeper ones inside of there as well. So as we talked about, we all know the STG, absolutely insane. Not a lot of changes here. Known for its fast fire rate, minimal recoil, quick reload. In my opinion, there's no reason you should run this over the D tier. But if you need something that in case the D tier gets nerfed, or maybe you just don't like that gun, here's the classic build. We got the 50 round, the combo stock, jack glassless, the Fern Gewehr, and the quartermaster suppressor. Make sure you take a screenshot. Now, this is something that I've actually been running over the STG for the entire last few seasons. I still think the PKM is 100% better than the STG, even the STG pre-nerf, because the STG has been nerfed a couple times. It was nerfed pretty hard lately, and that's why that long-range damage feels so bad. But this has so much damage per mag. It has a little bit more shake than the D tier, but man, like, I feel like I'm shooting pebbles with the STG at long range, not with this. We have the jack glassless, the pyro heavy barrel, the quartermaster suppressor, the Bruin heavy, and then high velocity, bringing us to 1,100 meters per second bullet velocity. And I will say the D tier is slightly better because it's a little bit more mobile, a little bit faster reload. It has less damage per mag, but man, if anything ever happens to the D tier, I'm going right back to this PKM heavy. Make sure you take a screenshot. Now, this is the Pulemyot 762. I call it the PKM. It's the Pulemyot 762. Moving on, we mentioned earlier the TAC Eradicator. A lot of people don't like this because it's got that kind of weird cadence where it starts shooting fast and then it slows down. But in my opinion, it is very, very controllable. It has a little bit of horizontal, like, kind of shake in there a little bit. Not nearly as bad as some guns. Still very controllable. But what I like about it, it's got a clean iron sight. We've been used to shooting this sort of TAC iron sight ever since we had like the TAC V and the TAC 556 back in MW2. You throw on high velocity and you get 1,300 meters per second, just like that battle rifle we're rocking right now with the D tier. We saw the time to kill is very comparable to the D tier. It has more damage per mag than the D tier. And once again, it's one of those that if that gun ever gets nerfed, it's definitely something you could try out. If you don't like the iron sights, you can do the exact same thing that we do with the D tier. Get rid of the high grain munition, throw on the jack glassless, which will also help out with firing aiming stability. And then as you can see, absolutely rips. It's got a little bit of some horizontal pull as you get later into the shot. But most of the time, you're not taking that many shots in a row, right? You're first firing, first firing, first firing. And if you are taking long extended shots, you're probably trying to rip someone through a smoke. So a little bit of horizontal shake isn't that big of a deal. But throw on the jack glassless if you want. I think the high velocity, given that insane bullet velocity, is worth it for me. This is my TAC Eradicator build. Make sure you take a screenshot. We're ripping through these ones fast. I know you guys like to get on with your day and get on to the game. So hope you guys are enjoying the insight so far. We mentioned the new LMG. Okay, here is the new LMG. As you'll see, not a whole bunch of recoil, but see how it kind of does that, like left, right, left, right, left, right. Like you're not going to shoot a gun consistently straight that does that, right? The TAC Eradicator shoots straight. It has a little shimmy, shoots straight, has a little shimmy. This is like shimmy left, shimmy right, shimmy left, shimmy right, shimmy left. And it just makes it really awkward to control at those really long ranges, I think, for a less than average player. So in general, I just wouldn't suggest this at all. I think the PKM is going to be better for you if you want an LMG, and I think the D tier is going to be better for you if you want an AR. Okay, from there, let's start talking about some of the snipers that we rock. Now, a lot of people are still rocking the Kar 98. I still believe I have the best build for the Kar 98. Once again, the bots don't accurately reflect snipers inside of here. And if there's a developer listening, please, for the love of God, why haven't you fixed this 6 months into the game? The crosshairs since the Kar 98 have not been aligned on like every single scope. You will see the middle of my crosshairs are in the middle and the dots on the right. Fix that, please. So what we have is the X10 int list. The reason we like the X10 int list is it actually helps out with our aim down sight speed. You'll see we have a 374 millisecond aim down sight. We have the sonic suppressor, which helps give us more bullet velocity, 925. The precision barrel, high grain rounds, and then I rock the recon sling because that helps out with some of the flinch in the event that someone is taking shots at us. You could rock, you know, like a stock or something, or an under barrel to help out with sway, but for me, this is my dream Kar 98 loadout. Make sure you take a screenshot. Now, what is truly my favorite sniper, if you guys don't know by now, it is the Moors. It always has been the Moors, and the charge barrel behind it just does so much damage. And obviously, once again, these bots aren't accurately reflecting this. It has like a 1400 meter per second bullet velocity. People are using this inside of the World Series of Warzone because it also does 275 to the chest. And just your ability to one-shot, headshot anyone, anywhere on the map makes this gun invaluable. For some reason, even though it says it does, if you use the anti-material slug and the ton heavy barrel, there is a damage drop-off issue. It says it does 369 damage, but after a certain amount of range, I think it's 106 meters, like it says right there, and no longer one-shot headshots. You will get headshot hit markers with this. I do not get headshot hit markers with the charge barrel combined with the anti-material. We then have the heavy stock to help out with sway, and we have the phase 3 to help out with sway, because this is going to be a gun that you're aiming down sight a little bit longer. And then we have the Heinrichter hybrid scope, which you guys know I love on the sniper front because it adds that variable zoom, which allows me to quick scope up front or snipe deep down range. And this is my Moors charge long range sniper. And then finally, I mentioned shooting rockets. It's the new Cat AMR conversion kit. This gun's a meme, 100% a meme. But if you and your buddies want to grab this together, it is hilarious. So it's the new conversion kit. It's the Jack Salvo. You just have to complete some weekly challenges to get it done. It equips a rocket projectile that is a one-shot anywhere on the body, anywhere on the map. And it is an absolute troll to use. You can equip a sniper scope on this, but because you're shooting rockets, your aim down sight is already really slow as is. And so what I've done is I basically just use this as like a mid-range weapon. And so I'll equip something like a Striker 45 or maybe a really fast build for the D tier. And I'll just run around. And if I like corner strafe into a building, you know, someone could be sitting there with an SMG, you know, a fully kitted out static, and it doesn't matter. I just throw a shoulder. Dude, this is so toxic. So I'm throwing on a Moors dot sight, which will give me a faster aim down sight. I throw on the FSS OLEV laser, which helps me a faster aim down sight as well. Tactical stock pad, once again, to be faster. All of these are built to help bring down that ADS time. And then I throw it on the quick bolt, which helps speed it up by 30% rate of fire. And then of course we need the conversion kit as well. And it's an absolute meme. I'll show you some clips as we close out today's video. Before I do, make sure you take a last screenshot of the day. If you are screenshotting, make sure you subscribe and enjoy a couple clips in the background of this Cat AMR with the new conversion kit. Enjoy the reactions and make sure to subscribe because I will be giving the close range loadouts tomorrow. A huge shout out against PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. If you want to catch me, I'll be playing in a tournament tomorrow live over on Twitch. I'll be linked in the description as well. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you're enjoying the season. Hope you're excited for Black Ops 6. And we'll see you all on the next one. Peace. Objectively being horrible to becoming one of the most consistent. Oh my God!
Longbow 3-1, target acquired.
Brother, what?
Flash, good kill.
Bro, this is so tough. What the f? If I died to that, bro, and someone started chirping in my ear like that, I would be so pissed.